I got a funny story to tell y'all, and I wouldn't have even believed it myself if I didn't read it and see it with my own two eyes. I'm serious. I wouldn't even believed it myself if I hadn't seen it with my own two eyes. It's crazy the things that you will find out when you read a little, the things you will find out when you actually do a little investigative research. And I'm going to share with you what that is right here, man. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Indiana Fever Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez. Show. Might hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and leave your comments. Yo, folks, I got some funny stuff to tell y'all, and you wouldn't even believe it if I didn't show it to you. But there is this perception of Caitlin Clark that she is a terrible defensive player, right? There is this perception, and it is a real perception of Caitlin Clark that she is a terrible defensive player. And in a vacuum, if you're watching her in one-on-one action, you'll sit there and say, man, she doesn't bend her knees. She doesn't shuffle well. She doesn't put enough effort on defense. There's a lot of things you might say. I'll also tell you that she gets no help side defense most of the time when she's in one-on-one action. I've seen enough video now where I've watched enough situations in ISOs where she gets literally no backside help from her teammates, which is the most basic thing that you need to get in man-to-man defense, especially when you're in ISO, is that your backside defender needs to come help, and that's pretty much anybody. Because most players can't be guarded one-on-one if they're worth a salt. Now, I've always said that Caitlin Clark off ball defensively was pretty good because she's a smart player. She understands angles. She understands the way the ball bounces. She understands, lanes and how to cut things off. Like so I've always said that she is solid, a solid off ball defensive player, and which is why she's able to put up certain numbers defensively where people will say, "Oh, well, she steals and blocks and etc." And I've always said that the steals are largely from her ability to read passes and read the passing lane, and that's off ball defense. And the blocks, she does get some blocks on ball blocks, she does, but I feel like more of her blocks will come when she's off ball and either helping or like in a position of you don't see her there type thing. But the belief is that Caitlin Clark is a horrendous defensive player. That is the general belief from the people that typically don't like her. They'll say she doesn't try on defense. In fact, I will bring up this particular article that I'd used in my Bill Platchkey live tonight, where it says right here, where is it? Hey, let me find it. Where did it go? All right. Clark haters. Okay, here. So this is from Platchkey's article. Clark, who made one basket during the game, had an animated discussion with Stephanie White during a timeout before being yanked out of the lineup. At that point, Clark left her seat to stand next to White and shake her head. There were reports that the discussion was about defense, which makes sense because that is the weakest part of Caitlin Clark's game. Opponents frequently and successfully isolating and attacking her. Yes, when there's no backside help. Clark, and this is the article now. Clark haters love to point to her defense. But did you know that Caitlin Clark, and like I said, if I hadn't seen this article, I would never have believed it, and then I had to verify it myself. Caitlin Clark ranks 22nd in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark ranks 22nd in the WNBA in defensive rating. Yeah, she's not nearly as bad as some would like you to believe. Calling defense the weakest part of her game is like saying the weakest part of Scotty Scheffler's game is putting. Maybe, but he's the best player in the world and still better than the vast majority of golfers at putting. So here you got it right here. These are the advanced stats from the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, right here, number 22 in the league in defensive rating. Right here, 104.6. That is 22nd in the league. That is ahead of Jessica Shepard, Chelsea Gray, Kayla Thornton. She is the 8th best defensive player in the WNBA according to analytics. The people that love their analytics, well, here's some analytics that you probably don't like if you're against Caitlin Clark, because she is number 22 overall in the entire league. She is in the top 12.5% of the league defensively by analytic metrics on defense. I mean, blown. I mean, when I tell you I was blown when I saw this, blown. Oh my God, blown. Bruh. The only guards ahead of Caitlin Clark are Olivia Miles, Courtney Williams, Jordan Cannon, 3. McBride, 4. Gabby Williams, 5. Alicia Gray, 6. Flage, 7. And then Caitlin Clark, 8. Yo, Caitlin Clark is the 8th best defensive guard in the WNBA this season. Yet she is believed that she is the worst defensive player. Now, by the way, I will say I have said Aaliyah Boston can't guard anybody, and yet she is 12th in the league in defensive rating. You know who Caitlin Clark is ahead of defensive rating wise? Lexi Hull, Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell, Raven Johnson. These are all teammates. These are all teammates. You know who else? Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young. Jackie Young is largely considered this incredible two-way player. She's largely considered this incredible two-way player. Yet she is not ranked ahead of Caitlin Clark by defensive metrics. Not my number. This is the WNBA number. This is the WNBA advanced statistics. Advanced statistics. Not my number. WNBA number. So, when you're so quick to say that somebody's so bad at something and you like to use analytics and metrics to support your argument, remember this one right here. Because right now, Caitlin Clark is one of the best defensive guards in the WNBA, according to advanced metrics for defensive rating in the league. Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum. Who else? Skylar Diggins, Sonia Citrone, Marina Mabry, Brittany Sykes, Paige Beckers, AZ Fudd, Odyssey Sims, Arike Gumbawale. Like, hell, you know who she's ahead of right here, too? Alyssa Thomas. A lot of players she's ahead of in defensive metrics and rating. I mean, that's got to suck for people who believe that she is a horrible defensive player. Now, I'm not going to change my opinion. I mean, on ball defensively, I don't think she's very good. But again, statistics are statistics. And if you're going to use statistics to say she is a bad defensive player, she's bad this or bad that, well, you better be ready to take it to the next level and accept the reality that defensively, she is a top 8 guard in the WNBA defensively. I mean, it hurts your feelings, I'm sure. I'm sure you hate it. I'm sure you do not like that. But facts are facts. Caitlin Clark is a good defensive player according to analytics. Oh my God. Damn, that's got to hurt people's souls. That's got to hurt people's souls. I mean, I can take it another. I can go another. I can take it to another level. I can take it to a completely different level right here. There is a WNBA stat called defensive win shares. You want to know where Caitlin Clark is in defensive win shares? 23rd in the WNBA. Olivia Miles is number 1. Then other guards, Julie Alamond, McBride, Jaquez, Alicia Gray, Courtney Williams, and then Caitlin Clark. She's the number 7 overall guard in defensive win shares. Again, these are statistics that I'm not making up. Not making them up. It's pretty wild when you think about it. When you think about it, it's pretty wild. Because the belief is that Caitlin Clark can't guard anybody, and yet, statistically speaking, she's in the top 13% of defensive players in the league, according to analytics. I mean, what do y'all think? What do you think about that, my friend? What do you think? I mean, that's a pretty wild statistic. That's a pretty wild stat. When you really when you peel the onion, when you go past the surface, she's actually a pretty solid defensive player. And this has got to hurt people's feelings, man. I got to tell, this has got to hurt some folks' feelings. I mean, man, this has got to hurt some people's feelings. Because that is pretty damn significant. But anyhow, y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This is Indiana Fever Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.